There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There is no place like home. It's 5 a.m., and children who are armed with nothing more than a utility blanket from the code are shaken from their sleep. You see, it's time to get showered and get dressed and leave by 5:30 a.m. because the shelter is not equipped for families. So they have to walk the streets, find a park or somewhere else safe to go for 8 hours until they're allowed back in. Aristotle Onassis said that it is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. What angers me the most about the situation is that 9 out of 10 of the shelters in Los Angeles County are equipped to assist individuals, but if you have a child, the best you'll get is 30 to 45 days to find somewhere else to go, or your name placed on a waiting list for 2 years for transitional housing. These shelters are like revolving doors that spin you around and around, and when you finally stop, you're so dizzy you have no clue as to where you are. What saddens me is that Skid Row, which is comprised of roughly 50 city blocks in the east end of downtown Los Angeles historic core, was established by the city officials in 1976 as an unofficial containment zone where shelters and services for homeless people would be tolerated. Tolerance implies no lack of commitment to one's own beliefs. Rather, it condemns the oppression or persecution of others. John F. Kennedy. And in all this time of tolerance by the city officials, no one has come up with a way to sufficiently assist families. Not in 45 years. While it saddens me about the families, I am moved by homelessness as a whole and by every soul that it affects. It's truly annoying, though, that most of the individuals that are allowed to stay indoors at the shelters during the day are left to their own devices. As long as they don't bother anyone else, let's not bother them. Out of the suffering has emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Khalil Gibran said these powerful words. And yes, there are shelters that offer 30 to 45 days for families to find somewhere else to go, as I mentioned. But it annoys me that families must have birth certificates, driver's license, school, and immunization records for their kids before anyone will help them. When 9 times out of 10, these are things that they lost in the fire. When they became homeless. When the sheriff banged on their door and said that it's time to go. So children are shuffled around from bus stop to bus stop, from building to building, like checkers on a board. While more often than not, their single mom or their parents try to make ends meet, get them to school while getting a hold of the information that they need so that they can get somewhere safe. And by the way, they do this all with no money, transportation, or resources other than a list of places that might help. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for all the places that are out there doing the best that they can, but it's time for us to not reinvent the wheel, just make it better. According to NPR.org, LA's annual homeless count on June 12th, 2020, that's the release date, showed that over 66,000 people now live in the streets, in shelters, and in vehicles within the county. That's up almost 15% from 2019. What are the key causes? Jobs that pay too little and housing that cost too much. And these things for the families have only gotten worse since COVID-19. Where are these families right now? Where are they being quarantined and placed to be safe? There's got to be a better way. We can't continue to allow people to deteriorate on the streets. As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping people. Maya Angelou said that, and it's true. What would you do if you were walking and saw your brother laying on the street? Or you crossed over and saw your mother grabbing at her hair, wandering aimlessly, talking to herself? These people are someone's mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, father. Who will help? There's an old saying that My not helping won't make a difference. But Steve Maraboli said that it's not about what I see for our future or humanity, it's about what I do for our future and humanity. Give of your time, give of your resources, give of your knowledge, give of yourself. But whatever you do, if it's just once in your lifetime, give. In conclusion, Maya Angelou said it best. I have found that, among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver. Who wants to be liberated today? It's you. I know it is.